Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Trying to find a place with some light. This good? I think this is okay. The lights is down because I work at night. So, I don't know. I guess I gotta hold it like this. Yeah. Welcome back to Sincerely Yours, Valisa. Well, we talk everything nursing, life, motherhood, travel, dating, everything, etc. So today I'm just going to kind of walk. I want to talk about travel nursing and the mindset that you have to be in to keep your cool. Which is very much real. You have to keep a mindset that sit right here. I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. So you got to keep a mindset that when you walk in, 9 times out of 10, that interview that you had with that manager or whomever to get you to come is, hold on. That manager that gets you to come is probably lying. No, I ain't gonna say probably, lying. And I'm gonna tell you why. I work on a PCU. No, not PCU. I'm take that back. I thought it was a PCU because that's my background. PCU, cardiac and neuro. But I work on a observation. Part of it's observation. The other half is CIU, which is the cardiac interventional unit. Now I can say on this floor, majority of the patients are admissions. They're not CIU. I mean, they're not observation. They do get, their periods where they get a lot of interventional radiology, interventional cardio patients, where we take care of patients that have went to the heart cath and have had stents placed. They went to the cath lab and they had a TAVR placed either, and most of the time they come back with, they have to be on bed rest, depending on the doctor, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. We have to check pedal pulses and make sure we watch their groin, and if they went in through their radial site, we have to make sure that that's fine as well. But they get those, but a lot of the patients they get are observation, med surgical, and some of the patients they get shouldn't even be freaking admitted to the hospital. Just shouldn't be. They like frequent flyers, and we all know what the frequent flyers are. They come in every week or every other week for the same problem. Where I'm from, they're going to fix that. If they know that's what the person comes in here for, they're going to fix that problem and send them back. There's no need to admit a person. I need a comb. There's no need to admit a person to a floor to which, of course, the patient is non-compliant. Admit a patient to the floor where the patient is non-compliant taking away a bed for a person who really needs the bed. Then when they're admitted, you're giving them, IV pain medication when that's not what they take outside of here. So I don't understand why give them something that they weren't taking outside of here. I understand pain is what the patients say it is, but at some point, when people are just saying they have pain and a doctor sharing how much pain medication they can get, I can't stand that for the like of me, because I don't have a problem giving you pain if you're truly a pain person. But if you sit here and you timing your clock to when you're supposed to get your pain meds next, I may not be that nurse for you, because I'm going to educate you on pain medication. I'm going to educate you on the fact that if you're overly sedated, or your blood pressure, or the vital signs is being affected, I'm not going to give it to you, because you're not going to have no code on me. So I deal with that. But anyway, I digress. So when I did my interview here at this facility, on this particular floor, he said that we will work with 4, every now and then 5, and rarely 6. I'm going to say it again. He said we will work with 4 to 5, rarely 6. That was a bold-faced lie. We work with 6 all the fucking time. My thing that I told him is, because I'm a 48 hours, you put my 4 days in a row. I'd rather get mine over. I don't like my stuff broken up or anything. He said it was not a problem. Well, that has not been happening. The schedule, I don't know if the right don't talk to the left, but the scheduler acts like it's such a hard task to schedule people. They have a weekend staff, and he, specifically said, I don't need y'all on the weekend. I have my whole weekend team. So when you have a whole weekend team and you're scheduling all your travelers to work on the weekend, and all we're doing is getting floated, like, I don't mind floating, but if you hired me to float all the time, then I should have just been a part of the float pool. It's crazy. So, once you get here and you see what you've discussed, as far as your patient load, as far as, how you want your schedule to be, which is considered block scheduling for me. Some facilities don't like it, and if they don't like it, I won't take it, because I would like to go home and see my family every now and then. So you have to come in with the mindset that 90% of what you talked about is not going to be what it is. You're coming into an environment where there's people, other nurses, other travelers, because there's a lot of travelers on this floor. I think a lot of travelers in this hospital that have been here longer. They're getting at their year mark, and so they are the favorites. You're going to be the one, I know for me, I'm going to be the one to get an admit first every single time. I don't care, not a problem. And I'm going to be if it's enough to go around, I'll be the one to get the next admit. But the problem I have is, so let me tell you a story. So the last time I worked, I started off with 4. I was the first one to get my admit. Okay, cool, not a problem. There's another nurse. She's a traveler. She had 3. It's time to get admits again. I'm finna be at 6. I'm sitting here like, what? I mean, she's at 4. What? But she was about to get an admit that made her 5, but her admit not decided, for whatever reason, was not gonna come. And I'm sitting here like, I was gonna go and make a stink about it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I abstain from voicing my opinion because it is what it is. You're gonna have those charge nurses that are gonna stick it to you, and you're gonna have those charge nurses that are going to be fair. Unfortunately, there's one who can't stand to do it. I don't know why they still have her to do it. And it is what it is. The other nurse, she was a traveler. She worked before. She stayed to the back and quiet, but she knew what she had. So the importance of having a mindset is, if you don't stay in this mindset of I'm gonna come in, like I pray every time now when I come in here. I had to go get me a
You have 1 call. Today, who called canceled. Vote Sarah.
I had to go get me a necklace with the cross so that God, Jesus, can protect me from being easily angered or speaking my mind. And it's easy to do, but then you don't want to be, even though you know what they're doing is wrong, you don't want to be the troublemaker, because in these assignments they expect you just to go along. Now, if it comes to a problem where it's affecting my nursing license, it's up. And that's just what it is. It's up, and I'm going to say something, and I'm going to refuse, and that's going to be that. And if they want to cut my contract, I'm fine with that. But there was another instance, and here's another thing. With that mindset, learn to pick out, when you find out the staff, and it's most of the time the normal staff, and there's 2, but there's one particular staff that always, well, both of them actually do, but one does more than the other. Is negative. She's always looking at the board. She's what do you call it? Paranoid, in fear that, oh, I got more patients than everybody else. All this type of crap. You know what I'm saying? And she, I was warned about her beforehand. I didn't know who she was, but when I did meet her, I knew that's who they were talking about. And I sat there and I listened to her one time. I was like, oh, you know what? She's, not so bad. She's really anxious, extremely anxious, makes a big deal about everything, gets uproar about everything. I don't understand that shit. But I have anxiety, and I try to stay away from people that will make my anxiety even worse. And she had to charge one day, and I promised to me, a calm charge nurse would make a whole bit of difference on how the flow of the floor will go and how your night will go. There's 2 dedicated charge nurses that work on this shift, but they have one day that somebody may fill in. Of course, if that one charge nurse calls in, then they have to pull somebody off the floor that don't like to charge. And I promise you, that day was the worst day ever. So she had given me, she was already anxious about whatever, everything. At 11 o'clock, oh Lord, let me move this because the damn house is. Hold on. Okay, so at 11 o'clock, she was like, Valisa, we're going to float you to another floor. And I said, like, no, it's not my turn. And I said, there's a book. And because there were other travelers on the floor, I was like, there's a book. And I was told by the main charge nurse to make sure that y'all put me down in the book. So that infuriated her. So she called the house soup and was like, Valisa said she's not going to go. So I'm going to, because it's not her turn. And so I'm going to send somebody else. And I'm going to send whatever the other person's name is. And I'm thinking, all of that shit was unnecessary. Just say it wasn't Valisa's turn, and so I'm going to send someone else. Don't put it, oh, I refuse to go because I just refuse to go. I refuse to go. I mean, if you would have sent me, I just would have went, but I didn't go for a reason. So I didn't like that. That kind of pissed me off, and that already set the mode for the night. So as the night go on, you know, at the beginning of the shift, you know, I'm getting my assignment. As I'm getting my assignment, because I was here like 2 days prior, like 2 days in a row, so that was my third day. She calls me and she's like, oh, I'm going to take this patient away and give it to XYZ because I don't want her to get all admissions. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing my assessment, this, that, and the third. And I get to my patient that I've had before. Now, I went in, I did this man blood pressure, did his assessment, gave his 9 o'clock meds. Well, what do you know? And this is the thing is, and this is another traveler that did this to me. And I'm telling you, it took everything in me not to fucking snap. Because, I mean, it just told me what her character was. So she comes up to me and she was like, oh, I have this patient. I'm like, no, you don't. She told me that, you know, you just took my other patient. She was like, no, she gave me this patient too. I'm like, when did she do that? Because that's not how it was earlier. So we go to the front and I'm like, hey, what's going on? You told me to give up this patient, and I did. I said, so you made a change in another patient too? And she was like, oh yeah, I gave it to, you know, her. And I was like, but I've done everything, the assessment, the medication, like everything. And she was like, well, I'm not going to change it. So I was like, okay, cool. And I looked at the other nurse that had the patient. I'm like, come on now, I did everything. She was like, oh well. Now, early on in my nursing days, in my early days of learning to become a professional, I probably would have cussed that heifer out. I would have cussed her out because, one, this was your first day back, and that was messed up. That was a bad attitude. So then that left me open to be able to get 3 admissions. And I guarantee you that hoe gave me 3 admissions while that other traveler sat on her behind and got no admissions. I was freaking pissed. And I let her know about it. And she was like, Valisa, you always got something. You see this right here? I'm telling you, I gotta go. This right here can make a difference in aging you. I was pissed. I was pissed. I was real pissed. Hold on. I hope it's a light over here. I can turn on. Because they come down. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. I can see right here. Finish. I was pissed. And I was just like saying to myself, anyway, it's shit like that you have to deal with. But you know what? At that day, that time, I prayed and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to come here. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to get my patients. If they give me more, I'm not going to say nothing. And it has happened since. I'm not going to say a word. And it has happened since, where it's been unfair. And as travelers, especially if you're a traveler, and yes, I'm going to say it, because the other traveler who was getting the light assignment was, I believe she was Puerto Rican, so she wasn't black. I don't want to hear the crap about, well, we are descent. I don't care. As far as who is more accepted in certain fields, it would be her versus me. And nursing, this shit is just getting so old and so tiring for me. It really is. And I'm like looking to get off the bedside. I am getting off the bedside. And get into a clinic and get myself back on a day rotation and just do things where I can work for myself. This is why you see more people popping up with businesses. And I need to get on that level, because working for other people is not for me, and nursing is not what it used to be. And that makes me mad, because I see so much that is wrong, and I mean wrong in a bad way, that it just disgusts me. And I feel like nursing needs to be revamped completely. I feel like people that are in these high positions who forget that they were a nurse on the floor at one point, and allowing nurses to work with these high acuity patients. And let me explain this also with this floor. So on this floor, we take patients that are insulin drips. You can have a patient that's on heparin. You can have a patient that came in with an AFib with RVR. And so therefore, they on also an amio drip or a pulmonary hypertension. And then they may be on nitroglycerin or dobutamine. I mean, not dobutamine, ditolizam. We get patients on all these drips, and you can have all your patients on all these drips, and all you doing is chase, especially if the patient's blood pressure is not stable, you're adjusting the nitro, you're adjusting the ditolizam to get the blood. When you're doing blood sugars, you're in there every hour checking the blood sugar and adjusting it. However, this floor is a fast-paced, busy floor. And yes, your license can be at risk. And so when I'm given, when things like this happen, and I'm given an assignment that if I didn't think I can handle it, I would definitely, say something. But it is not an ideal assignment to have. It's not an ideal assignment to sure not have if you are not experienced. We work with all these drips or with PCU or cardiac or, whatever. And then you have to do your tele strips. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they'd be lucky. I look at the monitor and chart my patient's rhythm, but I'm not going to do all that marking out the strips 3 times a shift, and then they want you on the observation unit to chart twice. Why? A full assessment twice. And on the interventional, if they had something done interventionally, yes, chart 3 times. But for the most part, like, come on, we spend most of our time charting instead of caring for the patient. But I digressed and went off to everything else. Anyway, my point of this video is, if you're going to be a travel nurse, go in knowing that you're going to most of what's true is not going to be true. Go in thinking if they say 4 or 5, you're probably going to have 6. Go in with a positive attitude. Stay away from people that are like negative, always talking negative, because negative will eventually rub off on you. I stay to myself. And just do the best that you can. And if you think that your load may be getting too heavy, then you can always ask for help or refuse that patient. The other thing that they do at this hospital is, I'm used to, we get an admission, we get time to look up the patient and, see what's going on with the patient. No, the minute, and I guarantee you, they give that patient a bedroom number, within 15 seconds, ER is calling to give report. I never take report. I'll call you back, because they've fought up patients too many times with stat orders that basically, like I told them, you're a fallout. It's a fallout, because a stat, depending on where you are, it used to be 15 or 30 minutes. Now I think here is an hour, and it'd be like damn near anywhere from 8 to 16 hours they've been down there, and you didn't do these stat orders because they don't like to start, and the doctors hold on starting patients on things. If a patient come in for chest pain and their blood pressure is high, why haven't y'all started them on a drip? This ER here, they come in, patient blood sugar is high. You'll see one time that they did something with the blood pressure, the blood sugar, and it's still high. Same thing with the blood pressure. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start filling out these. They're called, I forgot what they call them here, but they're kind of like near misses, incident reports that go to risk management and to the manager, because what they also were doing is bringing the patients up and dropping them off in a room and don't even tell you the patient's in a room. It's just crazy. And I'm just saying, if you're gonna be a travel nurse, be on your P's and Q's. Know when to stand up, because it is your license that they can come back and say, hey, you didn't do this. If you talk to a doctor or whoever you got a report from and they come up to the floor and this stuff wasn't done, their name is going in the chart. If you watch one of my earlier videos, I've told you I have dealt with someone that just because they were of power and I didn't bow down to them, lied on me to the nursing board. I had to fight. And trust me, it is not cheap for my license. I wasn't taking, you weren't finna send me to no TPAPing. You weren't gonna send me to, you weren't finna offer me to take some sort of CEU or reminder class or whatever, a corrective class. I wasn't doing anything. Either you wipe this away because you're going to have to prove it, and she didn't prove it. This was done out of malicious behavior. Or we're going to go all the way to court. And in the end, it was dropped. And I don't want anybody, any nurse, whether you're new or old, any nurse to have to go through that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to cost you some money. And most lawyers, especially if you're a nurse, they're going to ask you anywhere from maybe $8,000 upwards of $15,000 just as a retainer. My lawyer charged $350 an hour. And the lawyer that owned the law practice charged $500. So it's expensive. So I say again, if you go in, want to be a travel nurse, go in, have positive, try to be as positive, don't get caught up in the bull crap. Protect your license, stay away from the negative, just smile, pray on it, and you know that this day too will end, and there'll be another day that you can fight. So that's all I'm trying to say. I know I rambled on about a lot of things, gave y'all a couple of story times on some crap. And honestly, travelers, we are just that. We're travelers, and we need to stick together and help one another. We do, because the regular staff is not. They're going to just sit back and chill and watch us run us to death while they read a book or study or whatever. But that is all I have to say on that. I am still thinking about a name. I am thinking, I don't care. Like, honestly, at my age, I still feel like I got it. I still feel like, I'm cute. I can pull a little something. I still feel sexy. I dress sexy. So maybe I'm thinking about sex kittens. Or kitty cats. Meow. Because we have a certain age. That's how they did. I don't know. Y'all, let me know. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel. You are more than welcome to leave suggestions on more videos or critique me on my videos. Please, let's try not to be mean to one another. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day for those who have men. Bye, you guys.